Andy Warhol was an American artist and filmmaker who rose to fame in the 1960s for his pop art masterpieces. His work spanned many media, including painting, printmaking, photography, sculpture, film, and music. Warhol is considered a key figure in the pop art movement. He was famous for his soup cans and his sculpture of Brillo boxes. Here I've used alcohol markers to do some of my own type of Andy Warhol art. As a leading figure in the pop art movement, his work explores the relationship between advertising, consumerism, mass media, and celebrity culture, transforming everyday consumer goods and familiar icons into renowned artworks. Creating art from everyday items is also one of my favorite things to do. In this first portrait, I used acrylic markers to create his portrait. Warhol was born on August 6, 1928 in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. At the age of 8, Warhol had a streptococcal infection that led to scarlet fever. Because there were no antibiotics to treat the illness, it progressed to rheumatic fever and ultimately the neurological condition known as St. Vitus dance. At times he was confined to bed and made to remain home from school. He would spend these days drawing, creating scrapbooks from Hollywood magazines, and cutting out images from comic books that his mother brought him. He also enjoyed using the family's Kodak Baby Brownie special camera, and after noticing his passion for photography, his father and brothers built a darkroom in the basement for him. When Warhol started art classes at home school in 1937, his art teacher saw his potential and got him admitted to Saturday drawing lessons at the Carnegie Institute in Pittsburgh. Warhol excelled in school and won a Scholastic Art and Writing Award. After graduating from high school in 1945, he enrolled at the Carnegie Institute of Technology in Pittsburgh, where he studied commercial art. After graduating from Carnegie Institute of Technology, he moved to New York City. On a second day in New York, he visited Tina Fredericks, the art director of Glamour magazine. He presented her a portfolio of work. She received favorably, purchasing a small $10 drawing of an orchestra for her personal collection. She subsequently commissioned Warhol to produce shoe illustrations. After more than one attempt, his drawings were accepted. In 1955, Warhol began designing advertisements for the shoe manufacturer Israel Miller. Photographer John Copland recalled that nobody drew shoes the way Andy did. He somehow gave each shoe a temperament of its own, a sort of sly kind of sophistication, but the shape and the style came through accurately and the buckle was always in the right place. By 1956, his distinctive style had made him widely recognized as a fashion illustrator. Warhol was also hired by the record industry, RCA Records, to design album covers and promotional materials. By the late 1950s, he was also working for high-end advertising clients, including Tiffany and Company. By 1961, Warhol was widely recognized as one of New York's more stylish window dressers and top shoe illustrators. A significant turning point in Warhol's career was when he began drawing dollar bills, which inspired him to start silk screening in the spring of '62. Warhol was taught silkscreen printmaking techniques by Max Arthur Cohn at his graphic arts business in Manhattan. Warhol is often considered to be a pioneer in silkscreen printmaking, and his techniques became more elaborate throughout his career. In May of '62, He was featured in an article in Time magazine with his painting The Big Campbell Soup Can, which initiated his most sustained motif, the Campbell Soup Can. That painting became Warhol's first to be shown in a museum. Throughout the 60s, Warhol became very popular and famous. His phrase 15 minutes of fame, summarizing his view on fleeting celebrities. It first appeared in a 1967 Time magazine article noting that Warhol predicted a day when everyone will be famous for 15 minutes amid the rapid rise of contemporary art and culture. In June of 1968, there was an assassination attempt on his life that had a profound effect on his life and art. Complications from his second operation the following year left his abdominal muscles improperly repaired, requiring him to wear a surgical corset for the rest of his life to prevent his stomach from distending when he ate. Compared to his success and scandal of Warhol's work in the 60s, the early 70s were much quieter years as he became more entrepreneurial. He was generally regarded as quiet, shy, and a meticulous observer. He continued to forge into filmmaking. He had established himself as one of the most celebrated and well-known pop art figures to emerge from the 60s. Warhol is credited with both the cover concept and photography for the Rolling Stones album Sticky Fingers, 1971. He received a Grammy nomination for Best Album Cover at the 14th Annual Grammy Awards in 1972. Warhol designed the sets for the Broadway musical Man on the Moon by John Phillips of the Mamas and Papas, which opened in January 1975 at Little Theater in New York. Despite his health setbacks, he traveled around the world painting people's portraits. In 1979, he formed a publishing company, Andy Warhol Books, and released the book Exposures, which contained his photographs of famous friends and acquaintances. In November of 1979, he embarked on a 3-week book tour in the U.S. Throughout the 80s, he had very many commissions for paintings of celebrities' portraits. He had an appreciation for intense Hollywood glamour. He once said, "I love Los Angeles. I love Hollywood. They're so beautiful. Everything's plastic, but I love plastic. I want to be plastic." Warhol died on February 22, 1987, from sudden cardiac arrhythmia.